So tell us about to help with Beyond Visual Line of Sight, and
Right.
it's called Volaris. Tell
Yeah.
us
So
about what Volaris is.
yeah. So Volaris is the product band specifically for the UAV and air mobility space, right? Generally, when people think of satellite, and I can tell you, I was back in Desert Storm, and my buddy was a guy that was flying some of the early drones in the
Yep.
military, right? So Marine Corps gets pretty inventive on some of the stuff, and even back then we're doing lots of things back then. Today we the what we've done specifically for the UAV and drone market space is we're using the same satellite infrastructure that we do for safety communications. We're making some tweaks to our ground infrastructure to better support it. But I think probably our biggest tweaks that we've done is working on our terminal platforms, right? Usually when people think of satellites, they think of big, heavy antennas. They think of, big terminals that have to fit on it. Now we've gotten the terminals to literally the physical size of it is literally the size of your iPhone.
Are you kidding?
And no, no, it's really the our multi-link terminal that does both Satcom and LTE. That's our biggest terminal. I have the iPhone Pro Max, and it's about the size of my iPhone, right? Um,
Wow.
yeah, and we now have a Satcom unit that's integrated with an antenna. It's take about I don't know 2 inches off of the length, make it the same diameter, but then we actually put a small form factor antenna so that the whole thing weighs less than 2 pounds. Right. And the only thing that's really required to it is it's an integrated with an antenna. It's an omnidirectional antenna, so it doesn't do steering like you do on a commercial aircraft, which is why we can, take and do that. These are more like meant to be regional type antennas, but it works out really well where it can fit on, some of the smaller drone platforms that are needed that want that beyond visual line of sight platform. And really, it sits about 7, 8 inches tall, but it's no larger than, say, I think it's like 9 inches is kind of what if I remember, because everything's done in metric because it's all done in UK. So trying to convert it to US is I still struggle with that sometimes. So, but it really is a nice platform. We actually have guys that are testing now with one of our partners in Spain, testing out the performance of the new systems to make sure we can deal with all the interference issues that we have on small drones. Because when you get into a compact space, you've got all those electronics, in a very small area, they kind of tend to bleed over. So we're trying to make sure we can solve some of those problems to make sure that as we go forward, we can support, the market for today to make sure that we can do that beyond visual line of sight, like the holy grail of what you're looking for. And we're hoping that, hey, as we start to integrate these platforms, all the regulators, at least from an aviation regulators perspective, already know Inmarsat, now Viasat, and they understand what we've been doing for the past 30 years for aviation and safety communication. So adding that on to other existing platforms should really help drive getting us to move forward in the beyond visual line of sight markets.